This programme contains flashing images.
The fight before Christmas, and we're about to head to our headline act at the Copper Box here in London tonight. A reminder that Sky and BT TV customers can download the BT Sport app to your mobile or tablet to watch live or catch up on all tonight's action. You can also watch BT Sport on your TV via the app on selected devices. And for more information, go to btsport.com/large screen app. So we followed him from the very start. He's still only 22 years of age, but he has kept on exciting us. Dynamite Daniel Dubois, loaded and ready to go again.
What a wonderful situation we have in heavyweight boxing in Britain at the moment. Daniel Dubois is right in the heart of it.
So when did you realise that you were a little bit special?
Well, after winning my first, probably schoolboys, I thought, but I've been trying for like 2 years up until that to win the nationals, but I didn't quite make it. And then the third year, I got it. I've got the ability. I've been watching boxing for so long and over, and then finally winning it, and then that just gave me the confidence to keep pushing on and raise my game.
You're top of the bill on Saturday night. How much of a buzz does that give you?
It's great, you know, for not just myself, the team and the hard work that we put in. It goes to show that if you dedicate yourself, then you can make dreams happen, and it's onwards and upwards. So something to look forward to in the future if I'm topping the big bills against big fighters. It's been onwards and upwards since that Johnson fight. I've realised some of the things I needed to do after that fight and focus more on what, you know, my job at hand and take it seriously, and that's what I did. I just pull the games aside, and you know, I'm maturing and growing older as a person, so in and out of the ring I'm getting better.
Your promoter Frank Warren has said he'd put you in against Anthony Joshua tomorrow if the opportunity came. Do you feel that you're ready for that level of fight? Yeah, oh, definitely. I feel it's what I'm in the sport for, and these massive nights and the make or break fights is what I've lived for. The really, when it gets hard, when the tough get going, I'll get going, man. It's all to play for. I'm ready right now, and it's on the horizon. So what do you want to deliver against Fujimoto? Devastating performance and just an all-round display of skill and punching power and just what my ability and what I've been working at all year. I'm ready to go.
Steve, so new is he that I guess we should acknowledge that maybe some folks are tuning in for the first time and picking up on the Daniel Dubois story. Is it fair comment to say it's all a little bit different to the previous story?
Well, Tommy Fury's a lovely circus. It's a lot of fun, plus he can fight, and one day we'll see that we'll have it proved. There's no two ways about it. Daniel's heading towards that circus. Daniel didn't come into boxing when he came in at 7 and 8 years of age to be the circus master. He didn't come in to be a trapeze act. He didn't come in to be a one-off showman. He came in to be the heavyweight champion of the world. And it's a slow progress route that. There's no fast route to the heavyweight title. It doesn't happen. He knows that better than anyone, Daniel. And what he is, okay, he's not full of shouting, he's not on Twitter, he's not challenging people, he doesn't want to fight a YouTube champion, but he does it properly. And he's learned his trade and learning his trade.
Richie, what about the job tonight?
Well, I think, you know, he's had a good year, hasn't he? You know, he started off with Razvan Kojanou, Richard Larty, Ebenezer Tete. I think of the 4 fights, he's only boxed 12 rounds, so he's been explosive this year. I think he's got a job tonight. He's just got to get the job done and be professional. This guy shouldn't be in his league. There's only 3 heavyweights in Japan that's actually registered. So this guy may be out of his league tonight, and he's just got to get the job done and finish the year off.
We don't know what he's going to be like, that's fair, Richie, but you know, over the piece, what's maybe not said strongly enough about Daniel Dubois, he is fighting men every single time with winning records, and most of the other young kids do not do that.
No, that's the impressive thing about him. I think every one of his contests, he's fighting the guys with winning records. So yeah, and again, I like the way he's going about his business behind his jab. He does the basics very, very well. He has got a lot of power. I still think, you know, he's not the finished article. He's got to get 12 rounds under his belt at some stage. I don't think he'll get it tonight because obviously it's not a 12 rounder, but I don't think this guy's going to last very long, to be quite honest. But I do like the way he's going about his work. And like Steve says, it's a steady progress. This guy's only been a pro 2 years and 8 months. And it took Tyson Fury 7 years to win the world title. It took Deontay Wilder 6 years to win the world title.
Indeed so, Rich. And it took David Haye a long time as well to go to the very top, remembering that you were a world amateur champion before you started, Dave. But I also remember in your 11th pro fight, you had a war with Carl Thompson. Does he need something like that?
No, I don't believe he does. I believe he needs someone who brings the best. I bit off more than I could chew that night. And he has a team around him that won't allow that to happen. I don't believe he needs a loss to learn the lesson that I learned. You know, I had the type of personality, screaming and shouting. I was trying to fight everybody. I wanted to prove it, and I came up against more than I could handle. I lost, I then had to reevaluate. I don't believe he's going to go down that route. I believe he's going to gradually pick up the opposition, but there are so few heavyweights out there with winning records that are available and willing to get in the ring.
Well, that's a final point and a great one, because we have heard that many others were asked, you know, would you fancy this job? And they found a way of talking themselves out of it. So we have this man from far off Japan. Here's Thomas Treiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to give a special warm welcome to the world-famous Chelsea Pensioners. And now, ladies and gentlemen, live on BT Sport, let's now welcome to the ring our main event participants. First, the challenger coming to us from Tokyo, Japan, Kyotaro Fujimoto. Fujimoto fighting for the first time outside Japan. He's won his last 16 fights over 7 years, and his last 5 he's won inside the distance. The flag of Japan behind him. An eye-catching figure, to say the least. Fujimoto in shape and says he's ready to provide an upset. Well, we'll see. And now let's welcome to the ring the defending champion from England, Triple D, Daniel Dynamite Dubois.
I don't want to be a product of my environment. I want my environment to be a product of me.
There's a real buzz around the world about Dynamite Daniel Dubois. A man who's told us he believes it's his destiny. And ready now to produce perhaps another explosive knockout win. Tonight in his 14th professional fight, and there's the difference between them in terms of size. Big reach advantage, big height advantage. The heavier man as well, although not by a huge amount. More experience for his Japanese challenger, but Daniel Dubois has never tasted defeat.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our featured bout. It is scheduled for 12 rounds, and it'll be for the WBO International and Vacant WBC Silver Heavyweight Championships. Brought to you by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensberry Promotions, along with their great sponsors, 32 Red, Foot Asylum, and Unibet. It is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, steward in charge Mick Collier, along with the World Boxing Organization, President Francisco Paco Valcarcel, Supervisor Istvan Coco Kovac, and the World Boxing Council, President Mauricio Suleiman, Supervisor Mike George. Our three judges scoring on a 10-point must system will be Ray Danseco of the Philippines, Ernesto Saldivar of Mexico, and John Latham of England. Our referee in charge, third man in the ring, will be Victor Laughlin of Scotland. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the time has arrived. Live from the Copper Box Arena here in London, England, this is our main event of the evening. Introducing to you first the challenger fighting tonight out of the red corner. He's wearing multicolored trunks and weighed in at 16 stone, 6 pounds. Coming to us from Tokyo, Japan, he brings a professional record consisting of 21 wins, just 1 defeat, with 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the current WBO Asia Pacific Heavyweight Champion, Dubois Fujimoto. And his opponent across the ring in this main event, he is the defending champion, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He's wearing black trunks and weighed in at 17 stone, 2 pounds. Hailing from Greenwich, London, England, he is undefeated with 13 wins. 12 of his 13 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the current British and Commonwealth champion, and tonight, the reigning and defending WBO International Heavyweight Champion, Triple D, Daniel Dynamite Dubois.
Joe Joyce watching on at ringside. Here's the referee.
Okay, boys, you've had your instructions. Remember, obey my commands at all time. Defend yourselves at all time. Touch gloves. Touch.
Fujimoto ranked number 13 by the WBA. Daniel Dubois in the top 10 of the WBO and heading maybe for a world title shot in 2020. We'll see. He's got to get rid of Fujimoto first. There's that jab, which he says is the key to everything that he does.
And the first punch he throws is a jab, and the first time he hits Fujimoto with it, puts him straight back on his heels.
Fujimoto from a martial arts background, and like so many from that sort of background, can be a little bit square on.
Well, you've got to try. It's obvious he has to try the longer reach there of Dubois, but it has to be with lateral movement. If he's going to try and walk in straight lines or stay where he is now at this distance, he's just going to be the end of all the power shots, right on the end of it, or everything that Daniel throws.
Right hand, he felt, to the jaw. Fujimoto, understandably, looking wary.
Nice little left hook there from Dubois. He threw it a little bit lower. He's fighting a shorter fella. He sort of adjusted that left hook.
Some 4 inches the taller man, maybe even a little bit more, Dubois.
Didn't quite catch him now. Hit Fujimoto on the arm and still sort of knocked him back. That's nice left hook, lovely shot.
He's been over in Los Angeles training with big heavyweights, he says, Fujimoto, to be ready for this. Not too much sparring of the Dubois proportions available in Japan.
But he stayed out of trouble so far with a minute to go, and I suppose that's a success of its own.
There are a fair few people predicting this fight could be over in the first round. Fujimoto staying out of harm's way at the moment and now holding on and spoiling.
Just double up the jab maybe for Dubois.
Only just off target there with that, Dubois.
Yeah, the movement was before the punch was good. There's very little faint little shimmy before he tried to let that combination go. So at least the thought process is working for him. You know, he's trying to think of different things rather than just be straight and direct.
Well, pretty much nothing apart from grim survival from Fujimoto as the first round goes to Dubois.
Got it? Yeah. Yeah, got it.
Daniel Dubois with Martin Bowers in his corner, and here's some of the action such as it was in a fairly quiet opening round where there was pretty much nothing, Barry, from Fujimoto.
No, but you can just see, you know, he took a couple of good shots there, did Fujimoto, so nothing was really fully flushed there from Dubois, but obviously he can take a little bit, but he felt the power with the first punch Dubois threw with that jab and sort of went in defensive mode, which we sort of expected, to be honest. So it's Dubois' job, you know, to overcome that.
He says the key to his work in everything he does now is the jab, and now having once again to punch down Dubois, which is not always the easiest for a big man. Fujimoto does have some power. He's got 13 stoppage wins in his 21 victories, just the one defeat, which came in only his 6th fight 7 years ago.
Well, he's having the punch on with the jab, so you would sort of maybe suggest that he'd throw the jab a little bit lower and sort of punch up from maybe from the waist, because he hasn't got quite a good jab.
He's put him down with a jab. Would you believe it? We said he's got a quality jab, and that's what put him down, and his mouth's blooded.
It was a little bit what you said though, John. Ex-martial artist, who a little bit square-footed, and he got caught square with that jab.
Dubois now will be even more confident than he would have been when the fight began.
To be fair though, Dubois just has such a solid left hand, because you can see the foot and the hand, they move together. He steps in with the jab. He doesn't just throw it from the shoulders or the hips. He steps with it, so it's all his weight behind that left hand.
Another big, solid ramrod left hand and the right cross as well. Dubois looking to unload and find the big shot. But just biding his time. Oh, not that time though. And that, I think, will be good night, Kayotaro Fujimoto. Great right hand, right through the target, and there is no way he is getting up.
Wow, what a shot. Just so beautifully timed, that right hand there by Dubois. It was absolutely punch perfect. Caught Fujimoto as he was throwing as well. That was the worst part of it. He's throwing himself, so his chin's lifted up a little bit, he's squared up, and Dubois just timed to perfection. Just chopped down with that right hand, and poor Fujimoto had to take the full brunt of that shot.
Medical man in there, Fujimoto getting oxygen as we're watching pictures of our victor, Daniel Dubois. He's had an amazing year. 5 knockout victories since that frustrating distance points decision against Kevin Johnson back end of last year. Almost seems in another life, doesn't it? Everything has gone his way this year.
He's had a fantastic year and a fantastic start to his career, really has. And, you know, this was never going to be the big test like the Nathan Gorman potentially was, but the way that punch was probably the best punch we've seen him throw. I think it was a fantastic shot, and you could see from literally the first punch he threw, it was only going to be one winner. But
Fujimoto is now up on a stool, still receiving oxygen, but he's actually still sitting on the ring canvas at this stage, leaning against a stool. There he is. And he doesn't really know what hit him. Certainly never been hit with anything like that in his previous professional career.
No, but some of the early shots, I thought he took them quite well, to his credit, but that no one was getting it from that sort of right hand. Not when he was throwing, pushing his body into the shot, as Dubois really turns from the waist, dips that shoulder in as well. It was just fantastic.
Well, there's the jab that put him down for the first time, where he was really very much caught squared up.
And it's a great jab, because Dubois, as I said, his feet, his front foot and his front hand, they work in unison. So he steps in that jab. It's the full weight of his body in that left hand. So it's a really heavy, great shot. It's a fantastic jab. And if you're walking onto it, then it's going to knock you back at the very least, if it don't knock you over. So, and I think Dubois' jab is known to have that weight. But that right hand was more than just power. It was technique and timing. It really was. It was a fantastic punch.
Well, it really is a jab which is admired. I know, speaking to Frank Bruno, how good he thinks it is, and he could jab a bit. So too Lennox Lewis, but he can bang as well. Look at that right hand.
And again, he just walked him down as he got on the ropes. He's slightly squared up. See, just when he's about to throw, and that was good. That was impressive part about Dubois. He timed it, so as soon as Fujimoto was about to throw, he lets that right hand go. And I thought it was perfectly straight, but actually he lifted the elbow up and just sort of turned the body and hooked around a little bit with it, shortened it up. It was really good, a great shot, fantastic.
The knockout he wanted, and Fujimoto now has got up off the canvas and is sitting on a stool, no longer receiving oxygen and slowly regaining composure. Daniel Dubois very happy with what he's done, and he'll be back in the ring, I suspect, round about April. And he'll be looking for a big name opponent then. I wonder who it will be. Somebody to really make an announcement, and somebody, I suspect, who's going to be a little bit more imposing than Kayotaro Fujimoto. But he did everything that was required, Barry.
He did, and you sort of think he's only young and don't rush him, but David Hayes said something earlier on. If he might be young, but if he's ready, he's ready. The age almost doesn't become a factor with the ability and the power he has. And I think if he is ready, you have to let him go.
He's a year older than a guy called Tyson was when he won a world title. Yeah. And he is exciting, no question about it. And there's a real buzz around the sporting world now. His sister as well has just been crowned as Young Sportsman of the Year on the BBC Sports Personality programme. She's going to be heading off to the Olympics in Tokyo next summer. I wonder if she's going to be coming back with a gold medal. I know Daniel's going to be there.
So that'll be 2 fighters that Richie Wood will be taking credit for now. Daniel and the sister.
Well, Fujimoto, happy to say, is now back on his feet and having his gloves taken off, and he will now go across and offer his congratulations to Daniel Dubois. And I think we can now get into the ring because Thomas Treiber awaits us.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 2 minutes, 10 seconds of round number 2. Your winner by way of knockout. He is still WBO International Champion and now also the WBC Silver Heavyweight Champion, Triple D, Daniel Dynamite Dubois.
Kojanou, Larty, Gorman, Tete, Fujimoto, all knocked out in 2019. I wonder what 2020 is going to bring.
And as somebody said at the weigh-in, he eyes up an opponent the way a wild animal sees its prey. It's really quite chilling. And it is going to be a problem finding the right opposition, surely. Unless they start to race ahead with him, of course. So let's get some thoughts on that performance tonight, and we're delighted to welcome Joe Joyce back to BT Sport as well. Great to have you on the show, Joe. Thank you very much for coming to talk to us. And Joe is a huge fight, as I'm sure you're aware, European title opportunity in January in Hanover, Germany against Marco Huck, which we will talk about in a moment. What did you think of that fella tonight, Dubois?
Yeah, amazing shot. I mean, it wasn't hard to miss. Very colourful hair. Yeah, devastating knockout, devastating power, and yeah, I was good job. He's safe. He's got back up, and he's okay, man. But yeah, that's good. Like he's got the WBC silver.
Obviously, the paramount concern is for the welfare of the opponent. You're quite right to mention that. Do you think Dubois showed anything different tonight?
I mean, it was standard procedure, straight. You know, jab, he lined it up with a jab nicely and landed the 1-2. And he didn't really have much to answer him with. He's in there just surviving and that. And of course, Daniel just landed a big bomb and detonated it and took him out of there. So,
David, give us a little appreciation, would you?
Yeah, he lined it up nicely. The first round, he kind of took his time. He threw a couple right hands that went over the top. But in the second round, he timed it to perfection. They say in the heavyweight division, all heavyweights can punch, but not all heavyweights can do that. Take someone out
with the jab.
You know, yeah, he put him down with a jab, put him down with a right. We all know he's got punch power, but when you see it up close like that, it is quite scary. It really is. When Fujimoto went down, you know, I thought he was going to be down for a long time. I'm glad to see he's back on his feet and he's walking around, but that power is monstrous.
Hold fire here for just a moment, fellas. Let's hear from the winner.
Well, Daniel, congratulations. Your 5th knockout of the year. You're barely breathing. Almost looks a little bit awkward because of his style. How do you find that?
I just thought after the first couple of shots, I needed to just pace myself and let him come to me. I knew I had the power, and I was really confident what I was going to do tonight.
And then, of course, when you did find him, it was another showpiece finish. Talk me through that.
Yeah. Well, you know, what can I say? I landed a sweet shot, and that was a good night.
Absolutely. Well, listen, you have been talking about world title fights in 2020. You've taken down another highly ranked heavyweight. How far away do you feel from a world title fight now?
If I keep collecting these nice belts, I won't be too far, you know. He's to get me in the mandatory position, and Frank is going to do his job. He's a great promoter, and he's going to, you know, pave the way for me, and I just got to walk the path.
Well, Frank, I know you've got a cunning plan for this man. Can you shed a little bit of light on what you think you can bring to him in 2020?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Can you shed some light on what you can bring to him in 2020?
Well, we're going to do a big show at the O2 in April, which will feature Daniel. So we're putting it together, and I'm hoping it's going to be a big fight for him.
And how challenging is it becoming to find the right matchups and the right boxers that want to take him on?
Well, we've made offers to a lot of the British guys at the top there. We've made one to Derek Chisora. He'd have no problem fighting a Dillian White or Joe's over there. I mean, they're all great fights we can make, or we'd like to make.
Well, as you mentioned, Joe Joyce is here ringside tonight, and we've got Sam Jones here, Joe Joyce's manager. Would that be a fight that would interest you, Daniel Joe 2020?
100%. That's the fight Joe wants. It's what the fans want to see. Great performance from Daniel tonight, but let's be honest, it was a live sparring session.
Frank, could you make that happen? Joyce Dubois showdown?
Well, he said it's a sparring session. Let me just say something. Let's make the fight now then. Let's get it on. Everyone wants to see it. All the fans want to see Daniel and Joe. Let's get it on. We want it.
Daniel, what do you have to say about that?
Bring them on. I'll bring them all on, man. I'm not hiding from no one.
Well, listen, it's been a fantastic 2019 for you, for your sister, Young Sports Personality of the Year. How is the Dubois Christmas celebrations going to be?
Oh, fantastic. We're going to have a well of a time.
Well, we have enjoyed watching you all year long, and we cannot wait to see what you can do in 2020. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Merry Christmas, everyone.